Welcome to the Football Parliament podcast, your one stop destination for all your football debates, discussions, and opinions. Today, we are gathered here, Tanish Tiwari and my co host Chirag, to discuss about the Portugal national team, the keepers, the defenders, the midfielders, and the forwards. They're all a great set of players. As we can see, almost all of their players are world class. Chirag, what are your thoughts on this squad?
Definitely, they are the defending champions. They have a squad to beat. They have key players in every position. If we talk about a good team, obviously they should have a good leader in defense, in a midfield, and in attack. And we can easily name one player each in this category, rather many players in many different positions as well.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, just look at the defense. Pepe is a leader. Diaz has also stepped up and is a leader for City. Then you can clearly see Bruno Fernandes as the leader for Manchester United and Cristiano Ronaldo for Juventus and obviously Portugal.
True hit. Though
Tanish,
you
what are
have
your
many
thoughts on this team?
Yeah, I'm very impressed by Portugal's depth, which was not the case in the last Euros, and not just in attack, but even their defense, or let's just say their starting 11 defense at least. It looks very good, to be very honest. And the most encouraging fact about Portugal this year is uh, the influx of attacking talent that they have had is huge. I mean, Bruno Fernandes, Rafa, in my opinion, is a very good player. João Felix, Cristiano Ronaldo, Bernardo Silva, Jota, all of these are top class players. And not just that, Fernando Santos, the manager, is an extremely good manager as well, and I rate him very highly. So I think they'll go very deep into the competition.
Definitely true.
Chirag?
But me and Tanvi, when we predicted about this squad, the major problem we had with this squad was rather I had and I manipulated finish about it was that when you get so many star players in your rankings, now there might be ego clashes. See, I might be completely wrong because if this squad gels up well, there is no stopping this. No one who can stop this squad. But definitely, when you talk about big name players, sometimes it happens that ego comes in between and clashes might occur. So I feel that if some upset is possible in this Euros, this might be the downfall of Portugal squad, who have been performing very good lately in the competitions as they are the defending champions we know. But definitely, I think if there is a possibility of some downgrade that me and Tanish predicted, then definitely it will be for this Portugal squad.
Yeah, one thing
Tanish, what
before
about your
anything else, I
thoughts?
think, yeah, just one thing. We've got to remember that this very squad, or just a lot of players in this squad, are the current UEFA Nations League winners as well. So even that was a very major trophy, and they had to beat a lot of big teams to get to the final, in which they beat Netherlands. Uh, they are looking very good in my opinion, and I've branded them as my second favorites in the tournament, behind France, simply because of the squad depth, in my opinion. But I think they'll do very well this time around.
But my only issue with this team occurs is when we try to put in all the draws, the group they are placed in, they're placed in a situation that is very difficult for them. First of all, they are placed in a very difficult group. Second of all, when they are going into the quarters or the knockout stages as well, they will eventually have to face big teams itself. They cannot rely on situations that they will be getting good opportunities or easy games to play in. So that might be a difficulty that you have to play a very big game after every 3 days or after every previous match. So this might be a problem because big players are coming after a season that was very hectic. We had games every
Hmm.
week. We even had three games in a week. That is very difficult.
Yeah, definitely. Also, one more question for Tanish. Do you think Andre Silva will be the striker, or will it be Cristiano, or what is going to happen in the front line?
No, no, no. No, I don't think Andre Silva. I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo will be the striker. I think he'll go with a front three, in my opinion, as they've done so over the past few games. Uh, as always, Ronaldo on the left, Andre Silva, who's been in top form this season, like scoring 26 goals. And on the right wing, I think he'll go with Bernardo Silva or Diogo Jota. Like it doesn't matter anyways. And just behind them will be Bruno Fernandes' spot in that 10 row.
Yeah, that can be. So, Tanish, you think that it's going to be a 4-3-3 attack, right? Yeah, and who will be the holding midfielders or central midfielders in your opinion?
I don't know who will be the holding midfielders, but I would like to see Ruben Neves and Renato Sanchez. I've been a huge fan of Renato Sanchez, uh, considering the fact that he just won Liga with LOSC Lille. And not just that, Ruben Neves and Renato Sanchez, I think will be perfect because you have the number 6 in Ruben Neves, the number 8, who can do both attacking and defending in Renato Sanchez. And you have that perfect number 10, who is going to be obviously Bruno Fernandes. So midfield is sorted, attack is sorted. I think the defense might be a weak point, but let's see.
I don't think the
Definitely.
defense will be a weak point because they've
No,
got great players. I mean, just look at Ruben Diaz and Pepe, Carlos Pepe. I mean, Carlos Pepe, although is 38, but he had a great season. I mean, just look at his performances in the Champions League. And even Rafael Guerrero, the left back for Borussia Dortmund, he also had a good season. And Joao Cancelo, Champions League's final Premier League winner.
but Vedant,
So I don't think
Vedant,
that
that is
can
the
be a problem.
you just named four players, and these are the four players that you cannot rely on always. You have named seven
Exactly.
defenders. If anyhow, and if Ruben Diaz or Pepe, due to his age, gets injured, do you have a
Hmm.
likable replacement in form that can completely replace that guy and your team won't be hindered? I really don't know. See, if you talk about Nelson Semedo, Semedo had just moved to England. He did not have very blasting season. I would say that he is a perfect replacement of John Cancelo. And Cancelo also has not been in top form right as of now. That you should be considering him. Even he was dropped for the final against final for Man City against Chelsea in the Champions League. So if any injury occurs, they won't be able to sustain the squad with that. Maybe I feel so.
See, they've got a very good backup center back in Joseph Font. He won the league with Lily, and obviously he was starting majority of the matches. So
Font
I think the
Font is a
backup
very good
center back
player.
is sorted. Yeah,
But
Font
just
is a
one,
very good player.
just one. Just one. You cannot, if you're going in such a big tournament where you're even allowed to name 26 players, I think two center backs extra won't be a problem because you should put in a package or have a team that has backups for each position. Even if you are
Hmm.
playing with 20 11 players, you should have at least 22 players that each position has a backup and four extra men who could do the extra jobs as well. You can play more than one position or positions that require more depth than just one player like the goalkeeper or even in the centre back position. But I do not see just three centre backs or three good named centre backs really carrying a team to the finals.
Hmm. That's also a very good point. Tanish, what do you think the defense can look like? I mean, you said for a four at the back, so your starters.
My starters will be, I think it's very obvious. Jao Cancelo on the right, Ruben Diaz in the middle, as right-sided centre back, not the left-sided centre back. Pepe as the left-sided centre back, and Rafael Guerrero as the left back, who have been very impressed with this season. He has been very good with Dortmund. So yeah, those four will be my starting
But
defense.
I'll
A
just contradict
surprising
here.
name, which okay, yeah, you can go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'll just contradict here. Jose Fonte has been one of the best players all over the top five leagues this year. They have done something unimaginable, beating PSG to a League One title. But also, Jose Fonte has been the core of that team. He has put a performance that everyone, if you ask someone to put in their best 11 from the all the top five leagues, definitely Fonte is the name that people are adding. So, will you drop a Fonte for a 38-year-old Pepe?
I would, because
But
I know
that's the
Pepe is a
question,
better
Chirag. I
defender than
mean,
him.
Pepe also had a great season with Porto. I mean, they didn't win the league, that's for sure, but they had a great run in the Champions League, right?
But I definitely will put on Fonte in my lineup over Pepe. Or either if we see, first of all, he cannot go for the back three because they do not have squad depth to go for a back three. Obviously, some players can fit in positions if he really wants to go for a back three, but it does not look likely that Portugal will go for a back three. And going with a back four, it will be a tough question. For me, I will put Fonte and Ruben Diaz over anyone else.
Talking about squad depth, there's a surprising name which isn't here. Okay, the name is Ricardo Pereira. What do you think about that, Tanish, followed by Chirag?
I don't know why Ricardo Pereira has not been selected. I mean, he had a great season with Leicester. Yes, he's had I think the major injury which he had, and his injury record this season might be a problem. And even last season, he had an ACL. So that might be an issue. But he is, in my opinion, a better defender than Nelson Semedo, like to be very honest. And he would
Definitely.
be perfect. He would be a perfect backup for Joao Cancelo. So I don't understand why, apart from the fact that he might have an injury record or something like that. So yeah.
Chirag?
Yeah, see, definitely. According to me as well, the situation is similar. See, Ricardo Pereira, I really wanted to know if he is even fit for this game or not. He had a very good season. He was an impact player for Leicester City, who have performed really well, above expectation. They have won the FA Cup this year, so obviously they had a season to reckon. But I do not know that is he ready or is he fit enough to get into the team.
Okay. Chirag, what do you think would be the possible formation?
I'll agree with Tanish here. It is going to be a 4-3-3 with the same players that he has named. Just I'll put in Font over Pepe.
Actually, even I'll go for the same formation, a 4-3-3 attack with two holding midfielders. But for some reason, I feel that Danilo Pereira deserves to get a start because I shouldn't be saying excellent, but he had a good or a very good season with PSG. He's their holding midfielder too. So I just feel with Ruben Neves, we can count in Danilo Pereira. I don't know.
And I think just one before we move on, as you just mentioned, Danilo Pereira, we got to remember that he can play centre back as well. So when we are talking about Portugal's lack of defensive options at centre back, even say Danilo Pereira can fit in over there perfectly. So centre back issues is not as big as probably I made it out to be earlier. So yeah, it's good to see.
Chirag, what do you think about this attack? I mean, they're just a great set of players. Pedro Gonçalves had a great season. Bernardo Silva, a Champions League finalist, Premier League winner. Jota had a great season with Liverpool, not in terms of trophies or anything, but a great season. Then we have Joao Felix, not a great season, but obviously La Liga winner and a key player for them. And Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, Serie A top scorer, two trophies, etc., etc.
Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo is the leader of this team. He will lead his team, and definitely, if he is not eyeing to play in the next Euros, that will be most probably 4 years or 3 years from now. So he will be aiming to win it, just get this trophy, maybe for the last time. But I think he might be fit enough to get in one more competition. But definitely, Cristiano Ronaldo, João Felix, and also I'll here mention Diego Jota. Liverpool's attack was having a very rough season in the beginning. Only Salah was the big name getting in goals. Both Roberto Firmino and Mane were not putting in performances to really cherish. And Diego Jota stepped in and he was scoring every game. I do not remember, he had a streak or so that he was scoring in every game, whether it was from the bench or either it was when he started. I really want to see if Jota is fit enough because he was injured the latter part of the season. If he is fit enough to start, I really want him to see, and I really see him putting in a number of goals alongside Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the Champions League group stage where Diogo Jota scored a hat trick against Atalanta. So he's a key player, definitely a starter for Liverpool next season. Tanish, what do you think about this attack?
What do you want me to think about this attack? I mean, this attack is
Just a
one of
great
the
set of
top,
players.
exactly, one of the top two when it comes to depth and quality. I think consistency might be a factor in these Euros, but as it is a tournament format, I don't think it really matters. Uh, Portugal, the last time they won the Euros, they did not have a good attacking unit, but this time around, I mean, just look at that attack. It's just quality all over. And the fact that a lot of these players are in form is what is so encouraging for Fernando Santos. And yes, he has his favorites, and yes, he has his favorite formation as well. But I think he'll chop and change and experiment along the way. But I think they're sorted in attack. I mean, packed in attack.
Exactly. I mean, if you're talking about top 6 or 7 players, you've got 3 players who are already Portuguese: Ruben Diaz, Bruno Fernandes, and obviously Cristiano Ronaldo. So I think they're pretty much sorted. Well, that's the video for today, guys. Portugal national team. Let's see what happens. We've given our predictions about them in our respective predictive videos. If you haven't
Thank you,
watched that, please go and check that out too. Chirag, what are you saying?
Yeah, before putting in, I'll just ask both of you, what is your prediction? How far is this team going?
I called for Portugal to reach the finals and lose to France. Let's see what happens.
Finish your take.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that whether they lose in finals or not, but I'm going to say they will reach the finals for sure. For sure.
I'll stick to my predictions. I do not think they are going far enough this season. Maybe round of 16 or the quarters is the maximum I see this team going, and I'll stick to that.
Yeah, we all know Chirag is a very good predictor. So let's see. If this goes right, I'm gonna give Chirag a party. That's for sure.
And if you have seen this, this is in your
Yeah,
presence. Okay.
he's the witness. He's the witness. Okay. So that's the video for today, guys. Portugal national team. That was it. We'll see you all tomorrow. Peace.